For the dynamics of the Toronto Stock Exchange and the Canadian equity markets, is there like an imaginary line or a threshold to where you start to get access to different types of investors? You were mentioning around $1 billion market cap. Have you seen? You mentioned generalist inquiries of late. Is that a market cap driven discussion? Is it, the trading volumes going up? Is there a certain line on the trading volume? Do you think you start to get access, or do you think it's a little bit of the story and people are getting familiar with freehold? What are some of these? You mentioned step change, the thresholds that you meet that continue to get you more and more access.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of all of them. I think as soon as you get up over that $1.5 billion market cap, your aperture for investors becomes much wider. What we see in Canada, probably the next step change is in that $5 billion, and then above $10 billion is another step. So that was, for us, it was important to get above that 1 billion. We're targeting to get up toward that $2 billion market cap in the short term here, and a lot of that is how we've changed our portfolio and just messaging that. And so really we've been spending a lot of time trying to tell our story and really showing how the difference in our company is and how we've changed. And for comparison, Tim, if you look back in our last 6 years, on average we had $130 million in revenue. With the work that we've been doing and current price outlook, that's going to be a double of that. So all of a sudden, if you're paying out 60% of your revenue for dividends, when you're sitting at $130 million of revenue, you don't have a lot of walking around money to do deals and to advance your portfolio. Whereas now, we've got, if you're paying out half of that, you've still got over $100 million a year of funds that you can continue to invest in the company and build the company, and that makes a big difference. And so so there's a number of things that have moved us up market cap, but really focusing on the asset, making our portfolio much more resilient, much more growth orientated with the positioning that we're doing, telling our story, and just getting a bigger market cap. And with all that comes trading volume, and we're going to also benefit from the generalist investors that can't really sit on the sidelines and ignore what's happening on the commodity price side and how that's changing the print for the oil and gas sector in general.
Yeah, that's just an interesting one before we jump into the deals. So rising commodity prices, it's changing the tune of generalists, you think?
Yeah, we're starting to see that, and just by the calls that we're getting, people that want to take meetings, it's a little bit different dynamic than we've seen, say, over the past couple of years.